Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon we're going to be installing the software for the Officejet Pro 8610E all-in-one printer, and we'll be installing it on our network. The wireless networking was already set up from the control panel, which is the easiest way to do this if you're going to do wireless. Wired, you plug in the cable in the back and just go to town with the installation. But if you're doing wireless, it really makes most sense to set it up from the control panel. Enter your access point and your password from the control panel. So we're going to do it a little different this time, like we did with the Canon a few minutes ago. We're going to install, we usually wipe out all of this software before we install something new. But this time we're going to install the 8610 software, and you can see here that the 8600 and the 6830 Officejet Pro software has already been installed. So we're going to do that this time for a change of pace and see what happens. It worked fine with the Canon Maxifies, so I imagine that it's going to do fine with this as well. So let's get into the setup mode, and something will be happening any day now. CD-ROM revving up back there. DVD-ROM, I should say. Now the HP installation is traditionally pretty easy. It only gets a little aggravating at the end with the registration process, and that's the same with all of the new printers with their mobile and remote services. Continue. All right, now this is even better than the Canon, because it actually should be a bunch of software down here, and it grays out what I don't need, and it's not going to duplicate anything. You saw the Canon one, the same list came up, maybe a little leery that it was going to install it again, but it ultimately didn't. So this makes it easier. I definitely want the help. I already have update on there. Already have Iris OCR on there, and I don't want to do this product improvement study, because that's going to send stuff back and forth to HP, and we only keep these on our network for 2-3 days at the most, because we're testing so many of these things. So next, I have reviewed the installation agreements and settings. I don't necessarily agree with them, but I don't have a choice. Next, installing the basic device software. There's only one icon, one program for the HPs versus like half a dozen or more for competitive printers. It's like a shell that allows you to run all kinds of functions from within a single program. It's called HP Printer Assistant. It's actually pretty convenient because there's only that one program installed, as opposed to 6, 8, 10 programs being installed with some competitive printers. And it's pretty funny to see these old-fashioned printers down here and smartphones. Even this one's old-fashioned. An old PhotoSmart. I should say older PhotoSmart. Couple of, here's the printer assistant, here's shop for supplies. I don't like stuff on my desktop. Okay, connection options: wireless, wired, USB, connect later. Like I said, we already hooked up the wireless from the control panel before, so we're going to do it wireless. With wired, it's like really easy. USB, well, there is no USB cable included, and hardly any printers do anymore. And if you connect this printer directly USB, you got the wrong printer. This printer is intended to be used in an office and be shared in an office. And I can't think of an office that doesn't at least have a wireless network these days. Next. And already easily found the printer. And installing the network printer. It's hooking it up to the network. And hooking the software. Connecting the installed software to the network location of the printer. And it's gathering printer information. Setting up ePrint. It's going into fax setup. It might start to ask me about setting up the fax. Alright, you can set up your location, your fax header, your fax phone number, whether you're also receiving phone calls, and if yes, do you want to set up distinctive ring so that you can tell whether it's a fax or a fax call or a voice call. But generally this doesn't work on IP phones. If you have analog phone service, this works pretty good. Some phone networks it does not work, and I forget what those phone networks are called anymore, but they're big expensive gizmos hanging on the wall someplace. So we're going to skip this. And where will you primarily use this printer? Where's the postal code? I really don't know what this has to do with it. Probably to offer me deals on ink, etc. And we'll eventually see it, but there is one deal on ink that you need. If you buy this printer, you need to seriously consider. Alright, now it's activating. Continue online. Now they're doing a nice job of doing this online, but it can get tedious. And here we go, Instant Ink. If you buy this printer, you should definitely sign up for Instant Ink. You have to pay a minimal fee. It starts at $2.99 every month, but and you also have to activate the communication between HP and your PC. And what happens is when you start to get low on ink, HP will automatically ship you new ink cartridges. And once again, it starts at $2.99 a month, and the bonus part of it is that the cost per page is less than half of if you got ink at regular price. Now, like I said, I got ink for this. I'm not going to need more ink for this, so I'm going to just make things simple. I'm going to get ink at regular price. No, I don't want to be reminded about it. I don't need to activate this. It's just complicate my life because we do so many printers. I would get bombarded with emails and everything under the sun because we do a couple printers a week. So I'm going to close without activating, and it's warning me. I'm going to exit without activating. Okay, and it takes us to the Shop HP page naturally, and that's it. I mean, it's really easy. So let's see what we ended up with over here. Alright, we have the 8610, the 8600, 6830, which is not turned on, so it's gray here. Let's see what the print driver looks like. There's the 8610. The 8600 is slightly different, as well as the 6830 is not. The 8600 is an older model. The 8610 actually takes its place, and so we're looking at the 6830 and the 8610. And they look identical, and here's something that everybody always asks about: print in grayscale. Print in grayscale or black ink only. Black ink only is the cheapest way to print. And but if you do the instant ink, you don't have to worry about color. It's the same cost as for color as it is for black and white. If you print a lot of black and white, the instant ink might not be the way to go, because you save half the price of a color print, but you pay more for a black print. So if you do a lot of black printing, you might not want to, or majority, you might not want to go with the instant ink. But it sure is convenient to have it mailed and ready to go based on your usage, and you don't have to run out to the store minutes before it closes because your kid ran out of ink when they're trying to print out their homework. So it's nice that the print drivers are exactly the same. Let's look at what was installed, and it should be the same as the other HPs. And here it is. Only thing that was installed is this printer assistant, which is exactly the same as the other HPs. Well, it should be. We'll wait till it loads up. Sure enough, it looks identical. And if you want to see what every one of these options does, take a look at the Officejet Pro 8630 or 6830 software and network installation video, and we go through all of these options here in that video. Okay, since this is exactly the same, it doesn't make any sense to do it again. So basically everything you need to do with that printer you can do from here, and instead of having to go start, I want to do the scan utility, or I want to do the speed dial utility, you can do it all from here. So that's it. And in fact, you can even do all your HP connected stuff here as well. And here's your ePrint center to sign in and register your printer with ePrint and download printables, apps that'll show up on your control panel. It's all good. So that's it. Really easy, and it didn't muck up my PC with a bunch of software that I didn't need. And as usual, a good job by HP.